All right. Hey, everyone. Hope you all are doing good. Last time on Monday, we started working on some of our industry-specific pages. So things that would be like, oh yeah, we serve small businesses. We serve, oops, I'm trying to start my server while I'm talking, but like we serve real estate companies, brokerages, stuff like that. So while we were doing that, we had some issues getting our we wanted like a blog feed to show up, and so if I went to like our industries page and went to real estate, which I think is where I have the block set up, yes, what I was doing before is initializing the block for the post to be used within both our rich text rich text component, and then also our blocks. So the problem, though, is you can't use or you can't query your database on the client side. So what was happening, for those who watched last time, I was getting an error that reminded me of the client side error. And the problem is that our rich text converter is being used on things like our form, which is a server component or a client component. It's used on things like our table of contents, which includes a client component. So we're not able to use our blog post feed in our rich text lexical field, and that's okay. I don't really need it. I just need it as a block. And so over here, I just commented it out. So like you can see that we've got the feed block and the feed component. And so just so you can see it in action, if I re-enable these, including the feed at the bottom here in our JSX converter, and I save it, once this refreshes, it'll likely break. And if it yeah, there we go. And so here, can't resolve FS. This is typically what you'll see when you have a server component trying to query data in a client component. So we can go ahead and get rid of all of this, fix that issue, because I don't really need it to be used in our lexical rich text field. So now that's back, that's good. And here I added a console log last time as well to show off all of the different docs that come in. So we have that ready to go as well. So now we can actually get to work on creating this blog feed that I wanted to include in this page. So we're going to get some stuff showing up. And here we can see this is our feed segment component. So we've got some work to do here, and right now I have it as querying all of the categories that are included in, I suppose I should show the admin side of things. And so once that loads, I can show you. But yes, the auto login thing saves, it doesn't save a lot of time, but it saves enough that I don't have to type in a username and password. So I love that. So we go to pages, we've got real estate, and if I scroll down, I've got this block, which is the feed block, and I'm manually adding a category. What I would prefer to happen is for my website to take the slug of the page that I'm on and use that as the category to query by. So right now, though, looking down here in my terminal, like it's just real estate, which is, it's an array because I'm mapping out all the different categories. So this has many. We could do a bunch of different categories, but I don't think that that's really necessary. I'd rather just use our slug, the industry slug, to use that. So we'll go ahead and just save that. And then let's get some stuff showing up here. So first things first is, I don't think this feed section actually exists. So what we'll do for the feed section is we're going to not use this section. We can do, what is it, section container I think I have. Oops, and then I need to change this here. And then I think I have a content container as well. Content container, I do indeed. And so we'll set this to be here. And then we don't really need this or this. And so we've got our header. And then I should be able to do a card section. We'll see how this actually works. Import card section from cards. So right now it seems like we just have, oh no, postcard is what I'm looking for. Postcard. Is there, yep, there's card row. So let's use that first. So card row. And this is going to take some children, which we will take out of our category, or not our categories, our response here. So let's change response to posts, since that's going to be an array. And then we can add our posts.docs.map, and we'll post. Then we should be able to do this correctly, I think. So I think this actually needs to be that there. Postcard? Nope. Okay, so this should be parentheses like I thought. It just was not working like I wanted it to. There we go. So now I should just be able to put in our post. Hit save and see what happens. There we go. We've got our two cards. The error is that I need to have a key in here. Key equals, I think I can do post ID. Maybe. Perfect. And both of these have the category of real estate. So that looks great to me. Of course, this image doesn't look great. So let's add a couple other images here. Of course, they're all going to be different thumbnails that I've got laying around. So we'll go back to our posts. We can come and look and see if we have our, we don't have our meta in here, and that's okay. So, oh, better yet, we can go to our categories, go to real estate, and here we can actually go to our related docs and we can edit them from here. So let's edit this one and add a different thumbnail here. So we'll create a new, select a file, and just take, sure, this one. This is a thumbnail from a live stream back in December. We can say that this is me. I'm a person. That's a website. And then this is test thumbnail 1. And just a bunch of gobbledygook there. So now if I save this, come back here, that payload image should go away, and these actually look like real cards again. And so we just expand that out. And so here, right now we're just querying things with real estate, but say we had one for our small business, that got jacked up, that's fine. So we go to pages, and then we can go to our small business. And for now, we're gonna add a new block, which is gonna be our feed block. We work with small businesses, and then set an anchor as content feed again, just because it's going to be a block that takes small business as a value. So I hit save there. We're at small business here. If I refresh this, this is the only small business post we have. And so now, wouldn't it be great if we could just use this bit of the slug to populate the query, not even the query that I'm thinking of. Well, yeah, to populate the where query of the category. So that is what I'd like to work on. And also I want to work on, right now I've got localhost 3000 small business as well. So that's not exactly what we're looking to do. We want to make sure that this is only accessible through industries, because what if we had portfolio small business or about small business? All of those would not work, and we'd have some intersecting routes because our small business is used in the home route as well. And so we don't want that. So that may end up making it an individual collection, but I might try just that's what the live coding sessions is all about, is making sure or checking and seeing if there's a different way to do something that I don't know about yet. But let's start with the path name, because I think that's going to be easier to figure out. So we'll stick with small business for now. And then I know that we're going to need a client component in order to get that. Sorry, my brain just broke. We're going to need a client component to get the path name, because this is not going to be anywhere where I can receive params. And I don't think I can pass params down to blocks, at least not easily. So we'll figure that out here in a minute. Oh, I thought I broke everything again. All right, so hit right half there. All right, and we can close industries. Let's just make sure stuff still works. Log. Oh, look, yeah, the image went everywhere. Perfect. Now I've got category 2, 3, etc. All right, perfect. So we'll go back to real estate. I don't need to keep logging these categories or the feed type, but the feed type comes in handy if there's multiple, like if we have webinars or white papers or anything like that. So we'll stick with what we have here, and then we just need to figure out a way to get our slug, the query params, from here and pass it into our server component. And so here is going to be a great time to ask NextJS, which actually we can just do pass client or pass path name to server component NextJS. And this is what every developer does. Nobody has all of this memorized. I don't want to use middleware. That seems a little excessive. We can use client. Well, we can't make this into a client component because we're querying data, so that's not going to work. Middleware, well, let's see what Stack Overflow has to say. All right, so it looks like middleware might be the way to do it. So that's not stellar. I don't love that. So I don't think we're going to do this, unless y'all know a different way. So I think it's not important to do it this way, unless I can just do it like this instead of middleware using headers. So let's see what happens. We're here to experiment. That's what I want to do. And if this doesn't work, then it's not a big deal. We can just leave it with a category selector, and then that way, honestly, it may make more sense anyway, so I can also include real estate here for small businesses just to show an example. And then we have all three cards here, real estate and small business, sorted by date. So it could come in handy, but let's go ahead and see what happens when we try this. First, let's get rid of real estate for small business. Hit save. All right. So it looks like this is this header's not available, no longer supported, so this probably won't work. But let's take a look just to see what happens. So I'm going to import our headers from next headers, and we'll just see what this does. Headers list equals headers, and let's see what's available to us. So we'll come in here, We don't need feed type, so we'll just log headers list. See what happens. What? So maybe I just skip that and just do headers here. Okay. So headers list. We just get to experiment a little bit here. That's all. So I have a feeling that this does not exist anymore. It just seems excessive to try and use middleware to do this. So we know none of this works. All right. Okay, so let's think this through. So if I use a client component here, I'm no longer able to query. So really I need the params to be passed down to the blocks, which I don't think is possible, but maybe it is. So let's take a look here at our, our blog, or I guess our posts. Is that what that is? Yeah, it's posts. Okay. And then we've got our URL. And so we got our slug. If we can come down to render blocks, I wonder, does page layout have, no. So if we go into render blocks and have it take props, is there anything else that this will take? You know what? I don't think that this is that important. So having it, oh, I don't want to give up too easy though. So let's make sure that this is still working, which it may not be because I still have headers here. So let's get rid of that. And maybe we'll just ask ChatGPT. How to pass path name from client component to server component. And again, this may not be something that's possible. And I really just don't want to use middleware to do this. So ChatGPT is, will this work in NextJS? All right. This is very long. I'll be right back. All right, sometimes the dog goes a little crazy, but that's okay. So I just got a big long answer from ChatGPT, which I am not going to read because this gets server-side props here, right? That's a little old, a little dated there. But yeah, I don't think I can get this to pass as a query. Because I can't use, can I use a server component and a client component in NextJS 15? The answer to that is, I don't think so. Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, so this is not going to be worth our time. Maybe I can look at it and bring back some other news there, but I think this is going to just use this feed category here and let us use we work with small business. And so we'll just do our own category search there. I don't think it's the end of the world, so I think we're in good shape here. So make sure our contact works. Yep, but for some reason, in the hero, it opens in a new page for some reason. So we'll worry about that later, but let's write it down. So we have done this. We fixed the issues. We will still do what's below. So we are going to, I think we just need to create a new collection for industry here, just to make things easier, unless, again, well, no, because regardless, we need to create a new collection in order for the parent page thing to work. Or, no, we don't. We just need to use a new dynamic route, I think. So we'll try that here in a second. But first, let's write down, we'll work on schema soon. Let's do, we can fix buttons opening in new tab when not set to. All right. So let's work on our file structure here a little bit. So if we open our project, we've got our page slug, and then we have industries slug, which then brings in the page template. And so that's not really what we want to do. What we can do, though, is change because I think no matter what, if we do a slug, that slug is going to be able to be used as the, like at the base level, which is not what we want at all. So let's just create a new collection. That's really, I think, what this boils down to. It's going to be almost exactly the same as our page slug. And that's okay. Don't love it, but that's okay. So we can come here and just paste all of this. It's going to be a bunch of duplicate content. We can get rid of all of this junk and let this be, pretty sure that this is just this. Nope. Yep, okay. So we just need to add another one of these and another one of these. And then everything else is duplicate. But what we're going to do is create that new collection of industries and then really just take everything how it is. So let's come down to our collections We've got our categories, and let's take pages. I don't think I have industries. I do not. So we will just paste pages. New name is going to be industries. Hit add. We come here and do config. Our slug is going to be industry. We'll do industries. Industries. Oh, this is going to say duplicate, and that's fine. We'll do versions true. And while we're here, actually, why don't we test something out? And I don't know if this is going to be too much to figure out, but if I can do... I forget what I'm working on sometimes. Let's do live preview. And so here, we can just come back to this. Should be under, well, versions is fine, but we'll need to do admin. Oh, this is the build config. All right, well, let's give it a shot then. So we'll come over to our payload config, and we'll just throw in some live preview. It's going to be under admin down here. And we can just do, oh, this is components live preview. And we can do URL. We'll select this and then change this to 3000. And we're not going to put this on all collections right now. I just really want this on my industries for a minute, which we need to add to our... I need to do a couple things, but first add industries, which needs to be exported from here. I'm sure I got to fix a few other things, but let's start with this. Industries. Before I forget, I want to come back to our pages. And we also want to work on the search plugin, which is actually something I also want to add to my calendar for content. So let me do that real quick, because I don't think I have it on there yet. I do not. So we can do search plugin, and that'll be something for the future. Great. So we have, or should have at least, well, let's get back to industries. So our industry, wrong one. Payload config, we got our industries there. SEO plugin should be included just because of what else I have going on. Oh, excuse me. We got our live preview. And I think that's going to be about all we need here. So we come back to our industries config, make sure all this looks good. We're not going to need a parent page because that's just, my brain isn't working like that. And maybe I just don't know NextJS as well as I think I do. So then here's all of the canonical information. Create canonical here. That then needs to be, let's make sure that this is the right one. So we come here to industries hooks. It was not the right one. So we can then set this to be industries. Come back to my industries config and then set this to be the right create canonical, which should be from industries hooks. And I think we're good here. We got all our blocks, we got our config. we'll see if this works. So first things first, we come here. Oh, none of it's going, well, this may work, but what we need to do is we can come to our page here. We got industries here. All good. Perfect. All right, so we'll need to add some new stuff, but because all of this is under pages rather than, like, I don't think I can refresh this. Oh, I guess I can. I wonder why. But for now, let's go back to our industries. Oh, page, I am here. So our slug, don't think that this is going to be necessary. The home part anyway. So that should be good. Okay, whatever. So we'll set this to be, where is it? Industries. And then all of this is going to be duplicate again. Page type, we actually need industry as industry type. And we'll leave page how it is though, because that's going to be easier to edit between the two since I can't do what I want to do. I'm not bitter. All right, and then we're going to have a block layout. All this is going to be the same. We'll set this to be industries. All right, so here we set industries. And then this is the individual industries, so that's perfect. But don't think we're gonna, there we go. Now nothing works, perfect. And if I go to small business, this is still going to work because it is still a page. So we just need to change that. But this is helpful because then I can just copy and paste what I see. So we're gonna create a new industry and we'll call this one small business, if I could spell. And then we've got our hero. And we'll set the text position to left. Set this to contact, this to contact. And so we also want to make these into relationship fields because that'll just be easier, or at least have the option to do relationship fields so we can select pages if we want. So let's add a new to-do. Trying to collect as many to-dos as possible. So while we're to relationship field for links. All right. All right, back to this. Oops. Oh, did all my stuff go away? That makes me sad. Okay. Small businesses, small business rather. CTA, contact is primary. Choose from existing images. We'll use the one that we normally use. This slug should be generated automatically, and this will be published. So then our content, we'll add a block, which is going to be a content with no media, where we don't want to include our background color. We'll set that, and I'm just copy and pasting stuff, so this is not anything groundbreaking by any means. Feed block, and then this should be content feed blog, small business. I should hit save. Small business should pop up here. It does indeed. Content, SEO, Don't really need to do anything here right now. But now let's see what happens if I go to live preview. Oh, would you look at that? That looks really good. This is the home page though. Oh, I guess I can go to industries then and then small business. Yes, I can. Perfect. So this looks the same as it did before. So live preview looks really good. Can I can't. Okay. I thought maybe I could edit, but that means I can come here and hit save. Oh, the problem though is that this is the old small business page. So, oops. Let's save that. Come to pages. Go to our small business page and delete that. Confirm, and then we're going to come back over to our nav, where we're going to go to our industries, where we'll have our nested links of small business, which is going to be internal, with our link value of pages. My industries are not here, so we need to add that to our code. So come back over to that, and then we can come to our globals. Nav. We got our navigation link, external, internal, which, yeah, this is right. Posts, and then I need industries in here as well. So now if I save that, I'm going to have to redo a couple of things, but nothing too intense. But I can do an internal link and set a link to be, man, reload. Slowly. Okay, internal. We then have industries are still not showing up here. Let's perhaps check again the code. And let's do payload generate. Lost music there. There we go. Generate types. npm and dev. What's probably going on is that I need to also add it to our nested links, not posts, industries. So now I can add an internal link. Well, first let's refresh this. Reload. All right, now I can set it as an internal link and should have industries right there for small business. I can hit save. Then go to our industries, small business, live preview, industries, small business. Oh, okay. So there, I know what I need to fix in our nested links. So we're going real deep today, apparently. Did not plan on all this, but we need to go find our nav. Then we can go to nav item, I believe, index. Oh, this needs some work. If link type internal. So here we need to add in our link type. So if it's internal, we need the related to link dot value dot. Let's take a look here. So we can go over to our nav, go to our API, and then, yeah, it's relation to. So link, not value, but relation to. So let's go here, find const relation equals link dot relation to. I wonder, why I'm not getting that. Because I'm not requesting it seems. Well, I'm getting link. Oh, this needs some work too. Don't love this. All right, so let's see if link dot link, because const, or let's just do link dot value dot slug is all that gets, but maybe, just maybe, we can just do log link and see what I get. Localhost. I see relation 2 right there. So link dot relation 2 should show up. Go ahead and refresh this again. It does indeed. All right, so I do need it to be down here too in our industries. So is there a nested link part? Yes, it is here. So I will need this up here, but for now, let's just fix it down here. We can do so nested links will drop it here. So I think we can just do it here. So we can do item dot link dot relation 2 equals industries. If that's true, we need to add industries with an end slash. If it's not, we can just take the slug. But also, this should take the slug. Link value slug. So again, don't know why relation 2 is not working right. But now if I come here, I see industries. And I only see it there, so perfect. So now I should be able to come to industries, small business. See what happens. It loads up just fine. But and then I get rid of industries, small business does not exist. So now I can come back here, which is what I wanted to do this whole time. So this is definitely just a type error on my part. So I'm not too worried about it yet. But again, let's go here and we need to fix. Oh, that's what I'm doing right here. We can do fix types for navigation. Perfect. And then we'll do the same thing here with real estate. But first, now, let's go to industries. Small business. Do live preview. Industries, small business. There it is. And I've got real estate here, which does not exist for industries. Which, yes, that is true. But it probably still exists for page. So now, I believe I can just save this. No, so that's it on the outside. Industries, small business. Can I not? All right, so I want to do a couple things with the live preview thing here. So let's go ahead and set this over to the left half. Got our live preview here. So we want to set this to be the URL. Here we go, the dynamic URL. So I should be able to do, I don't want to do multi-tenant, that doesn't matter to me. But I should be able to here in our config payload config, there it is. So live preview. Don't know how I already lost it. There we go. So our URL is going to need this, but for now I'll just cut it and do our URL. We'll take, I think I just need data and collection config and have this return that. With collection config dot slug equals industries. If it does, we can do, whoops, industries this should be data dot slug, I assume. If not, it can just be our data.slug. All right, we'll see if this works. But then also, what else do we need here? So there should be more than URL and breakpoints. It should also, let's go to the example. So this is the first time I ever have used the live preview, so I just want to see what's available because I thought there was a way to do some auto refresh. Go to a collection, go to our pages, go to index. Is there anything live preview here? I mean, that's helpful to know. I can do it there. But let's just go back to the config. Should be up here. I guess it's in the source. Payload config. We've got breakpoint, but that's it. All right, so I think we're good. Let's take a look then. If we go to real estate, which is what I'm going to need here in a second, come here, and then let's go ahead and just refresh this. Then if I hit live preview, there we go. So that worked like I wanted it to. Perfect. Great. So now we can come back here to industries. We create a new one, call it real estate. Put this over on the half so I can then do we work with realtors. I don't have any subtext. We have a CTA button, which is going to be contact. It's going to be our primary button, which is going to take our regular live coding image. The slug will be added. And we'll set it to be published with our content. We're going to add a block that is our content with no media, where we're going to use we work with realtors, generate leads for your brokerage, and we'll just call this realtor content. And I don't remember if I put the pound sign here for my anchors or if they're automatically created, but again, we can fix that later. So yes, we want to use the primary background, and then we'll use a feed block where we're then going to do more content around real estate, content feed, blog, real estate. And now we can save this and go over to our live preview that opens up here. It looks exactly the same, but now we can go to our pages, go to I've got this industries page, which may stay there, but we can take real estate and delete that. And so I've got industries. What happens if I go there? It would be nice to have, but yeah, nothing pops up there. But I do have an image for a hero. So that's fine, but nothing else. So now we can look at our posts, not our posts. We can go to our industries. And now we have a live preview setup, which I was not expecting to do today. It just was not very difficult. So we can see how all this works. We can open this post maybe. And then we can see how that looks. And then let's enable this for our posts because it was very easy. So come here and we'll do industries, posts. And then in drafts, I think is what I'm thinking of. So we'll say if there is a collection config, I don't know if this actually works like this, but we'll find out in a second. Slug. Actually, so that needs to be, does not equal pages. Perfect. So now we should be able to open this up, and live previews should be there and should open up this post. It does not. Interesting. I wonder if this broke for industries too. That'll be a good indicator. No, that still works. Posts, test, live preview. Is there no slug? There must not be a slug. There's a slug. Not equal page. I wonder. So let's do. Oops. Quick generate types just to make sure. Restart the server. See what up. Now if I refresh this. Cool, we're good. Live preview does not work here. Okay, so let's go back. But it should still work with our industries. There we go. All right. So why then is it not working with posts? Well, since I'm not using pages for this right now, let's just take this out. This too, because I won't need it. And then that means I don't think I need that. Yes, okay. Live preview works. We go to posts, test. Live preview does not work. Let's go back to posts. Let's try a different one. Live preview does not work. Interesting. So I didn't do anything differently in industries, did I? This is wrong. Config. There's no live preview, I don't think, in here. Does posts have version? Let's check it out. Go to our config files down here. We've got posts. Versions is equal to true. So maybe let's come in here then. And where's our payload config? Let's take this. So we'll just cut this for now. I don't think it's required. Does not seem it's required. We'll come to our industries config, where we'll add live preview. Which we'll set to be, instead of collection config, we can just set this to be industries. And then if we go over to our posts config, we should just be able to add here our live preview, add another URL. And then let this be, it's not, oh, I think the problem is that I have it set to be posts. It needs to be, I think, blog. So that'll do it. Which means that I didn't need to do this, but I'll leave it like it is. I guess I shouldn't be so confident. Nope, that worked. Okay, yeah, so I just had the wrong collection slug. No biggie. All right, so we've got our blog. Perfect. Industry, small business, real estate. Perfect. All right, so real estate is all good. But let's go back to our future blog. Let this load back up. Because the problem, it's not even a problem. I just want to see the config for drafts. So let's bring this back up and do probably versions is probably the best. Let's see. So we've got our versions. Okay, so not exactly what I was looking for. But maybe there's more here. Oh, this is cool. Autosave, schedule, publish. Ooh, I gotta look into this too. I know this is a newer feature, being able to actually do a real draft. So looking forward to getting into this one. Let's take a look at autosave here real quick. Okay, well, so I do know that no matter what, this is not going to automatically update over here. So it's only somewhat of a live preview because I have to save. But that doesn't feel right. If I save and refresh, it does change that, but I feel like I shouldn't have to refresh in order for that to be seen. So refresh live preview. Okay, so yes, this is what I thought. So we're going to go into our versions, which are going to remain as true, but we can do drafts, autosave, interval. We can set it to like, I don't know how fast this is. It may be milliseconds. Let me wonder. So status is changed. We can revert to published. And so now if I refresh, it's showing me what's actually published. Okay. Then I publish changes. I see table of contents again. All right. Interesting. Okay. All right, well, let's try restarting the server first. So we're in our posts. We set our interval pretty low. We've got our versions, drafts, autosave, all enabled. Perfect. So come back over here. Restart our server. I know SEO is not going to matter on that. We'll go ahead and refresh this. Interesting. Okay, what happens if I unpublish this? Unpublish. So now it's a draft. All right, so maybe this doesn't work like I thought it would, but Summary, can save that. Go ahead and publish the changes. And then refresh. I do get a bunch of versions here. I don't think that's the end of the world though. There's a bunch in there. It's all good. Alright, so we have our live preview working. I think I need to re-enable it here. So let's do that. No, it should be good. Config. Yes, sorry. So, cool. This is some test content. And I mean, it's nice that I don't have to like go to my front end to see this, but I would much rather prefer that it automatically refreshes. So let's take another look here. I don't want to build my own. All right. I think I'm okay. This is fine. Because this is about as good as I think it's going to get here. So we have our live preview. We can go look back at our config. That's what I was just in. Go to our collections, our pages, our index. And then I see our live preview here. Versions, drafts, autosave, interval 375. And that's similar to what I have. So I think we're okay. Perfect. In which case, then we can add this to our pages config. We'll go up to our admin. We will not have industries. And then we'll need to enable this, I believe, in our payload config as not path. Wow, pages. Let's make sure that didn't import anything that I don't want. It did. Pages. So now we should be able to go up and over to our pages content, pull up industries, and we should have live preview right here, which should not have much in it anyway. Perfect. Get rid of that. Go to my home screen, pull up the code, go over to our pages. So we have a new industry collection now. We don't really need a relationship field for posts to show up in industry pages. I suppose we could do this as a join field where we then have whatever filter options we want, but I don't really see the benefit in that other than it's one less query. But even then, this is not... I mean, let's try it out. So we did do this, the render industry posts on industry pages based on category. So let's check out the join field first. So we'll come over to our industries config. And instead of using this field down here at the bottom, which I thought was at the bottom, but really it's a block, so not really the case, we can go to our hero content here. So instead of using a feed block, we can come here and do something like a join field. Just do type if I can get it inside the field, type, we'll do I'm doing something wrong here. All right, so within the fields, we need type join. We can do name. We can say posts. I guess related posts makes sense. We can do this on, or sorry, I'll do not required. Dang, man. Collection. It's one of these. Categories. We can do where. We'll come back to that in a second. And then we'll just do on. Wait. Collections. Or collection posts on category. I don't think this is going to work. Go ahead and do admin login. We can go to our industries, go to real estate, content. Didn't think so. Oh, I have to remember how to do a join field. I don't know why I forgot so fast. I forgot. But I already know I have a couple. Shoot. Don't use search everywhere when you're live streaming because it shows everything. But I should have a join field, I believe, on users already. Join. Yep. On content authors. So join collection posts. Yes. Okay. So we're going to join not on category, but on meta dot category. It's not, yeah, so that should be right. Hit save there. Okay, so let's go over to our posts and we can come down. I think it's content. Category. What did I do? Meta, content, category. Let's try that one instead. There we go. Go to content. Take a quick sip. Very refreshing. Okay, and so now we have no posts are found to match the specified filters. And so what are we trying to do here? So we want to have related posts based on our content category. I wonder then if we could do, no, this isn't going to work like I wanted to. So let's not worry about the join field because the problem is I'm going to have to filter by the specific category on the actual join field itself. And so that just seems like a couple of extra steps that I don't feel like worrying about. So we're not going to do the join field. Don't think it's necessary. So what we can do though is break some stuff. So we're going to use a relationship field for our links. Well, actually, before we break stuff, let's fix types for navigation because we're going to have to generate types after that. So, or generate types to do that. So I guess we have to do both of these at the same time. Let's just jump in. We will go to our nav. So I have here a couple of things. Well, nav is not, okay, so these are separate things that I've been thinking about here. So for buttons and things like that is where I want to have the option to have an internal or an external link. So first, let's do that because I am completely and 100% focused, tuned in, like straight honed in on what we need to be working on. I'm very clearly not. So let's go to our buttons. Make sure there's nothing in UI that's going to have this. I don't think it will. There's this other button, but I think that's just a UI component. Okay, so we will have open a new tab, set default value to false as primary. So here is where we're going to figure out what we want to do. So first things first, we're going to create a new field that we'll call name and do, I guess, link type, which is not going to work. But first, let's do type. This is going to be, I guess, radio. Let's do a select. I think it'll look better. Options. We'll do value. We'll say internal. And then we can do label as internal. And then we can do this one as external. All right, so link type makes sense, I guess. So now what we can do is we can keep link. So we'll do admin. We can do a condition. And then here, I haven't done a condition in a really long time, so here we go. We'll just steal this whole thing. I mean, that should be right? Where'd I even get that from? So buttons, nav, admin condition, true, false, data. So sibling, if link type, sibling data, yep, that's right, is external, return true, if not false. All right. And so then we can do the same thing here. But instead of link, we can do what field name should we do here? We're doing, it's an internal link. I wish I could just call it link as well, but I can't. And type is not programmatically settable. So let's just set this to be internal link. I don't want to change the actual link up there because that is currently in use. But this is going to be a relationship field. It's going to be relation to, I believe I want to do an array where I can do our industries, our pages, and our posts. Perfect. I don't need data here. So now we can set a default value here to be internal. We'll do external to be default. And then I can hit save, come over here, find our button over here on the hero section. Some things are going to change, some things are going to break. Link type is going to be internal. So nothing happens there. Let's take a look at that. Hit right, left. So this actually probably needs to be the value, not the external. This needs to be internal. And then I need this to not be clearable, so That's going to be an admin. Is clearable is going to be false. And it already is not has many, so I think we're good there. So we set internal, external, type. So we're just trying to get the condition to work here. Link type is external, internal, and no link. So I guess maybe link type dot value. I added an extra layer of complexity, I suppose. Don't know what I just broke. Okay, so value is not what it needs to be. And maybe I don't use a select field here. So let's go ahead and just do external and do internal. Change this to be a radio. Get rid of this. Oh, external. Okay, so progress, I suppose. And type. So let's just set external, internal. External. So now it should do, yep, link type there. So don't know what's happening here. Me too, Sam. I agree. So now return. I love it even when it doesn't cooperate with me. So set as to external, internal. So maybe sibling data is not right. Let's just set it to be data. Yeah, okay. Back to the handy old docs. Condition. I just feel like maybe, do I need to generate types? I probably do. I don't think I needed to do that, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, so this should just be working. I mean, probably not anymore, but let's set this all back to the more explicit version of this and just do all data across the board here. Data. Reload. Yes, I am very Confucian now. So admin, this is saying that if data enable greeting, checkbox. So data, link type, which is what that's saying right there. Maybe I don't need data. I should. What else is it? So it should have what? This is not supposed to be this difficult, but for some reason it is. I just lost what I was doing. Condition. All right, so we have data, which should be what I need. I wonder if I'm editing the wrong thing. It could be that I am editing the wrong thing. So let's take a, well, no, because this is being added, so that's fine. So it's either data or sibling data. It's definitely not the user. Let's just see what happens. Let's get the field showing up. Boo. Data, link type. All right, so let's change this again to just be internal question mark. And so we'll set this to be type of checkbox. Default value is going to be true, we'll say false. If not, if is, oh, I need to change this to be internal. And then set this to be the same. So then we set internal. I am so confused. I've done this countless times, so I really don't know why this isn't working like this. Internal link should just be working. Data internal. Like, at least it should be oscillating which one is which. Get the internal link there. All right, I'm spending way too much time on this. This should not be taking this long. But if we go over to our nav, what I'm trying to recreate, if I go to nav and load this up, I have this where I can set if, I don't want to do it there, but I can have an external link here or an internal link, and it just works. Which should be what's happening here, but it's not. So I'm wondering if the issue, well, no, because it's in buttons. I don't think I have any other conditions here. So let's do payload, generate types again. Reload it. Give it a second to reload. Okay, so now when I click internal link, nothing happens. What happens if I save it? Let's just see what happens. Nothing good. Okay, so leave it like that. We have a condition. Let's set it back to sibling data. And this is internal as its name. set true as default. Oh, I wonder if it's not default because I've saved data. Okay. What is happening? The condition is just not working like I want it to, and I'm not exactly sure why, because it works in other places. So let's come back to it, because we have it here working with our external link, which is taking if sibling data link type, which is up here, type radio, has external, internal, and no link, then it should just work. But it is not just work. So let's look back over at our, what is this? Probably, if I go to my industries config, we have this in our hero section where we have buttons and we have an image. So we've got a text position left and right. We've got our buttons. If I go to buttons, that is what we were just editing. But I wonder, just to see what happens, if we take this admin, I wonder if it's just because it's not a top level thing. I don't think that should matter, but we will see. We can do, let's set subtext admin to only appear if sibling data text position equals right. And that just works immediately. So I wonder if there is something to it being a down in here in like a utility function essentially. So we may have to take the buttons out of that, which is not the end of the world because we can just come in here and take all of this, which would just be such a shame to take all of this out. Get our labels. What is this? It is type array. But it is like just real frustrating that that just worked immediately. So let's set it back to where, like, the level that I want it to be, and then let's move forward. So sibling data should be what it is. Internal should be link type. Shouldn't need a label. Type should be radio. Then we should have this be set to external, and then we're going to set options to external or internal, not no link because it's a button, it should have a link. Oh, I thought I was charging my iPad. I am not charging it. I will do that in a minute. All right, so we have external, internal, which does nothing. Oh, if link type. We can set this to be, this should be external. Then internal should be link type internal. Get rid of that. Hit save. And it goes away because it is not listening to me for some reason. So where else do we take links? I think it's really just the button. So if that's the case, we will spend a little bit more time on this to see if taking the button out of this file will work. But again, I'd much rather not, just because it looks kind of bulky, but I think I'm okay. So I wonder, why is that there? Doesn't need to be there. No. All right. So let's see where else we have links here. Nav, yes. Posts only in the buttons. Users does not. Redirects will not. The footer does, but it's the same as the header information, so that should be fine. Addresses doesn't, pages don't, industries don't, these hooks don't, and neither does categories. So it's really buttons here. And I think that's it. All right, so let's just test this out. We'll take our buttons and we'll copy all of this. And where am I? I'm in industries, so we can go to our industries config, and instead of these buttons, let's just drop these buttons in here. Hit save. Very interesting. Reload. So sibling, let's just change it all to data and see what happens. Okay, so it's not a top level thing. That's a relief. Just means we have something else to figure out. So make sure our buttons are good here. And then the last thing I'll do before calling it quits is just to see how these might have their collections done. Oh, collections. Anything with a condition in it. So I may need to go to our examples. So it's not even examples. I need to go to our payload. Need to go to not examples. I was just there. Examples, templates is what I'm looking for. And then let's look at the website, because the website example is going to give me an idea of a better way to do conditions, I think. So let's take a look at our collections. We can look at our posts maybe. Here we go. That was before change. Okay, so I don't see any conditions here. Let's go back up to pages, index. Don't see any condition here either. Okay. I guess users. Nothing there. Not in categories. Media. Nothing in media either. So now we can go to components, which I think, oh, it's not going to be components. Let's go back to the collections because I saw something in our users. We've got our, not in users. I'm just clicking around stuff now at this point. Categories, slug field. So our slug field is in our fields. Slug. So there's nothing there. Index maybe. Okay, and that's not a config field. So I wonder then why they don't have any conditions anywhere in any of their configs. That's interesting to me. Collections. Very, very interesting. Yeah, so there's, I mean, you saw it. I got one working, no problem, using exactly this. But for some reason, it's not working for my buttons link. And I wonder, it's not because there's nothing in there, because there is. So if I set this back to internal, hit save, nothing changes. I set it to external, oops, save. again, nothing changes. So now they're both up, but I can figure out later then why it's not working like I want it to. So this, I need why won't admin dot condition work for external internal selector. And so we'll figure that out, I think, on the next one. We'll fix types for the navigation as well. So on the next video is going to be more about, I think, fixing our navigation stuff, because I don't think anybody saw it earlier, but looking at our this error here, this nav item is atrocious. So I'll want to take a look into refactoring this and making it a little bit more understandable is probably the best way to put it. So we'll come back to that. But really, I'm going to be bothered by this condition not working for this. I don't really know what to do about it, though, because I can get them both to show up. I can get them both to disappear. I can't get them to change places. And so we have sibling data. We've tried our data. We've tried different names. It's weird that it just did that. Link type. Internal. It's wild, isn't it? Things just don't work like they're supposed to. All right, let's try one more time, just some sibling data, just in case. Sibling, oh wait. I can just change this to sibling data. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't know what's different. Is it because it needed to have all of the different arguments? Maybe, but I guess adding in all the arguments makes sure that I can access the different fields. So here, spent all that time, all that troubleshooting. Don't you just love web development? All right, well, let's change this from external to internal, set it to be contact, hit save. And so last thing we'll do is go to our, oh, I can't wait to fix that nav. Since this is what I wanted to do, we can go to our hero, we can go to our buttons, and either our primary or secondary button. So the link, we're gonna have to fix this all too, I think. So we also need internal link. Which, boy, let's just set this to be, well, it can be a page. It can also be a post. And it can be an industry. And so now we can do link type. Link type is also a string. So now we can do href is link, or a few things need to happen here. It's always never just this simple. So we'll just do const reference just for now. We can set it to be internal link question mark. If it is, we can do internal link dot I believe it's going to be, I guess slug it is. Okay. Oh, if it is, we will want to check, well, first, no. So we need to check link type equals external. We can just do link. That's going to be the easy way. If it's not, we need to check internal link. And let's take a look at our API here real quick. So in our hero, we've got our buttons. We've got link type is going to be, so let's capitalize that, external. If it is external, it'll be link. Otherwise, we need the internal link, which is going to be interesting. So we need value. So I guess internal link dot value dot slug. So here, I think is where our issue is. Let's see if it works, but let's do reference. Then we'll see if this works. If it does, we will call it quits. So it does, but I need to change this to be oh wait, so no, that should be fine. This needs to be there we go. Okay, so that works. This should bring up our contact page. Then we can look here real quick at our real estate. Our open a new tab should be false. So let's really just get rid of all this. So now if I refresh, make sure all this compiles correctly, contact should not open a new page. Perfect. Okay. So that's one. So we'll come back in. We'll fix, it seems we need to fix types in our buttons and in our nav. So let's write this down real quick. So I did this. Don't know why it works. It works now. So fix types for navigation and buttons. So we can use relationship fields for links in buttons. And that should be good there. Then we can also work on our schema. And then also fixing buttons that open a new tab. We'll want to fix that as well. So we're getting near the end of this, I think. So we can start building out an actual website, which would be nice. There's going to be some design things that I need to fix. So let's go ahead and write that down to do design fix in footer and nav. Particularly down here, like I can't see industries anymore. And then up here, if I open industries, there's a gap here. And then also, don't know why this doesn't work anymore, but the padding disappeared here as well. So a few small things like that. We've got a portfolio to build. And then I think that's about all we have left to do. So we'll get to work on it. We did work on the live preview a little bit in this video as well, which I was not anticipating on doing, but there we go. We did it. Then we've got some, what else did we, so sorry, my brain just broke here a little bit. So we're going to be working on some SEO stuff, including like the schema, making sure that all of that works. But yeah, I guess I need to start thinking about what my next project is going to be to start working on with y'all. So got some ideas coming up, but for now, I think this is a great place to stop. I can't think of anything else that needs to happen here, so I want to take a second to appreciate all of those who came in and watched me struggle. Luckily, struggling less than I did the last time on Monday. So I'm thankful for anybody who spends any amount of time with me on these live streams. It's really important to me to be able to express that appreciation. So thank you. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you can see when I go live, typically 2 or 3 times a week around this time. I always try to do Sunday, but this week is a Superb Owl Sunday, so I will not be doing anything for that Sunday on here. So look forward to it. Maybe Monday and Wednesday seem to be good days next week, so that should be doable. Yeah, so I've got a new video coming out tomorrow morning at around 8 a.m. Eastern time. That'll be a cut video of a previous live stream, so it will be more streamlined than this with a lot less ums and I'm confused. So look out for that. Yes, just make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. Like this. You can share this one. I don't want anybody sharing my Monday live stream because that one was a struggle. But go ahead and share this if it was something that helped you out, or even just you saw something that you're like, oh, I didn't know that could happen. I'll be putting out a lot more content around PayloadCMS, NextJS, and more. I did a poll earlier this week. I guess it was Monday as well, maybe late on Tuesday, about what else I should be covering. It seems like Tailwind is going to win out on that. So if you want your opinion to be heard there, you can go over to my posts and vote on that poll. It's between Tailwind and Astro right now. I did put in some, like an other, where you can leave a comment, but then also I started with Python and Flask. So if you think that the Python Flask world needs some of my instruction type, let me know. But for now, I think that's enough for this. I will talk to y'all later. Go ahead and leave any questions or suggestions in the chat, and I'd be happy to look at those. I respond to most comments. I'm not too big for that. So I look forward to seeing y'all on the next one.